Forward. Where is it? Oh, okay, I found it. It's right there. So it's right there. And I want to make sure that this thing goes down straight and not crooked, because I like to have it straight just like I did that one over there, and not crooked like that. So, working with this thing, I also got to press it down. So pressing this assembly all the way down. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. When I pressed it all the way down, the pipe went straight. So now I just got to get an EP screw out of my bag. So let me get that. Working on getting the EP screw out. Yeah, I feel a whole lot better now. My sinus infection is finally over, and you can tell that I sound a lot better. I'm hoping I don't get another one anytime soon, but with me, it's hard to tell. Okay. Now we're going to get our screw out of here that we need. Grab these two screws that I don't want to come with. Alright. So. Taking this screw now. Locating that right there. I'm going to put my hand right there to hold that. Flipping her over. It's going to go in the hole right there where you see the peg that came through here and the peg that came through there. It's going to go in that hole. So, working on getting this in. And eyeballing it. It still needs to go in quite a bit because you see that it's not going all the way in yet. So, working on it. There we go. Just like that. That's in. And we have a straight pipe. And over here we have a straight pipe. I'm happy with that. So now the next step that it told us to do is going to be focusing over here on this side. And we're going to be focusing on this hole right here. There's a valve that has to go there. Or a gauge, a pressure gauge. And I'm going to look for my bag with the pressure gauges. That's not what I'm looking for. Here they are. Okay, the pressure gauges. The gauge that we want is this bigger one right here. We want that gauge right there. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the bag. Okay. And then I'm going to fish this pressure gauge out. So you want that one right there. Setting it down. Okay. Now I'm going to take some more Ultra Gel Control glue. Making sure that it gets on the peg. I'm going to take the engine room floor that we assembled. And I'm going to work on putting this pressure gauge into that hole if I can locate it. That's going to be the next fun thing. Because that's a very tight fit. Well, not tight fit, it's just it's too close to the thrust block, which I can't do it that way. So I'm going to have to, hang on, probably going to get glue on my hands, most likely. I'm going to have to get this like that. Try my best not to let it go flinging. like that. Then I'm going to have to try to locate again, which I'm trying to use your all's eyes. I think I found it. I just got to press it down. Yeah, like that. Making sure that it's straight, which it is. You can see it there. Then over here on the other side, there's the same thing on that one. So we got that gauge on now. So we have the big pump down to the floor on that side, and we got the pressure gauge down to the floor. That's one pressure gauge out of the way. Let me look in my book to see what our next step is. Looks like we're going to be building the next thrust block. Take the two parts of the thrust block, 34N and 34-0, and glue them together. Left, take 4 pipes, 34I, 34J, 34P, and 34Q. Join the two starboard pipes, 34I and 34Q, and then join the port side pipes, 34J, 34P, below, far left. Fit the pipes on either side of the thrust block as shown below, left. When you are happy with the fit, glue the pipes in place in the holes circled below. Alright, so now we're going to be building the thrust block. So you're going to need your bag that has your thrust block, and you're going to need your bag that has the thrust block pipes. I'm going to build mine a little differently, because I'm leaving my thrust blocks to where I can basically split them apart. That way it makes it easier to get the shafts in place. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Setting my engine room floor to the side. Getting the baggie open that has the pipes. Let me see here. Come on, bag. Stand by. Got to use their little tweezer trick to open a stupid bag. Just like that. Then I can pull it down to where I can get my hand in there and then grab it. There. So now I'm going to get all these pipes out, putting them on my work surface, which is on the table. Okay, those are out and this bag is finished. Set that to the side. Now I'm going to work on opening up the bag that has my thrust blocks. Alright. Now, okay, the way I see this going is just like the last one. So, this side right here, and then that down like that. So I'm going to focus on this side first. And I know there's a pipe that goes in the top of this right there. Sorry, there's a pipe that goes right there, and then there's a pipe that comes around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to locate the correct pipe, which this one's aiming this way. And if I put this pipe onto the top of this as a dry fit, I can see That one's going away from the thrust block like the other one, so that is the correct pipe for this side. So I found one piece. Now what I gotta find, I'll leave it on there like that for a dry fit. I gotta locate the other pipe that will connect to it. So I'm thinking it's this one, because this has to come around like that and then fit into that, and you want to make sure too that you got to keep your pipes straight. So these two pipes are the correct ones for this side. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Ultra Gel Control Loctite super glue, put some glue on that pipe, and then I'm going to, hang on a minute here and I'll focus you. This is some very small detail to focus in. Okay. Now I'm going to insert the peg into the corresponding hole of this pipe. Which I missed it, so I'm going to look at the camera and try to, God almighty, like that. And what I want to do is, while it's drying, I want to make sure that this stays as straight as I can possibly keep it. So that looks straight to me. That one right there looks straight to me. So I'm going to set that down and let that dry. And now what I'm going to do is do the same thing on the other one. So taking the two corresponding pipes, looking for the peg and the peg hole at the end of this one, making sure this pipe that tilts, that is facing down like a hook. Well, I almost did a boo-boo there, didn't I? That one's closed off. That one's got the peg hole. Okay. So, like I said, making sure this one faces down like a hook, because that stabs into the thrust block. And there's our corresponding hole. So now I'm going to put some Ultra Gel Control super glue onto this little peg. Just like that. And then I'm going to insert the peg into the pipe. Now I'm looking at it. Now I can tell this ain't straight. So I'm going to pull it down. Okay, that's straight. So I'm happy with the way that looks. So that one's good. That's straight. So I'm going to set this down, let it dry. Now I'm going to go back to the other side, what I had that was like this. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to now focus on this hole right here. And you're going to focus on this hole right here. So what I'm going to do now is it's this one right here that I did at first. So now we're going to take this pipe right here that we did at first made. I'm going to hold it right there. I'm going to put some Ultra Gel Control here. Not a lot. And I'm going to put some Ultra Gel Control here. Once again, not a lot. Now I'm going to insert this onto this, trying to keep it as straight as possible. So that goes there. And then this piece goes in there. But it's not going to be easy because that little one wants to always try to play up and not go in its corresponding spot. But with a little bit of patience and maneuvering, there we got it. And then you can see here those pipes ain't crooked, which is what I was going for. So, I'm good with that one. That one's a success. Now we're going to go to this side over here, which is the other side, and we're going to repeat the same process. However, you're going to be focusing on the front hole right here. Not this one. This front one. And then you're going to be putting it there. So once again, first of all, I'm going to get the pipe that we need. I'm going to take the Ultra Gel Control Super Glue. I'm putting a little bit there. And then once again on this one, a little bit there. And then we're going to do the fun game of inserting this into here again. So, going with the first one at the top. That one's good. Now going with the one in the side, which is going to play up like it always does. Which ain't surprising. Yeah, that one's going to try its best to play up. It does not want to go in that corresponding hole. You really have to press it in there. Okay. I pressed it in there. So now looking at this. This one is also straight. And stuck to my finger. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Let go. Give me back my finger. Okay, I got it. And making sure that this is dry, because when I stick this together, I don't want that to glue together. So, yeah, that's good. So, those two parts are done. Now, I'm going to read the next step. And then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so the next one, circled below, 34P, circled below. 34T is the next one, yeah. Fit the elbow pipe 34T into the hole in the side of the thrust block. Above right. Glue in place. Fit the raised elbow, or fit the raised screw holes on the base of the thrust block into the floor 26H beside the pump above. Then turn the floor over so that you can fix the thrust block in place with 2 EP screws. Right. Alright. So now what we're going to need is a very teeny weeny, tiny, small part. That is the part that's left in here. Or, no, my bad. Wrong one. Okay, there it is. That's the part left in there. That little tiny sucker. You need that. So, I'm just going to go ahead and dump that out on the table. I don't trust using my tweezers on that, because the tweezers could fling it. So, no. Not happening. Okay, now, on this one right here that I showed you about that hole before, where I told you to put the pipe into the first hole, that little part's going to go into this second hole right here. It's going to go right there. So, first things first, I'm going to try to get this in my hand, because I'm not using no tweezers on this. Okay. See how tiny that little sucker is? So now you got to basically take your Ultra Gel Control. Get some glue on that. Once you got the glue, you're going to locate that peg hole. And this is not going to be the easiest thing to do, which I knew it wasn't. Last one wasn't easy to get in. think I got it. Yeah. That little part right there. I want to make sure to try to get it straight. As it's bent right now. But then again, I think it's bent because that's the way the peg is designed. So that ain't my fault. Because the last one that I did, I broke it off trying to bend it. And then I glued it back on, but it's broke. Yeah. Basically, where the peg hole is designed crooked, that's as good as that one's going to go on. So I'm not fooling with that. Okay, so those parts are now done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our last two remaining EP screws out of the bag. I was supposed to have an extra screw in this bag, but I came up missing a screw short, which is okay because I got plenty of spares from the rest of the build. So now what I'm going to do is my little cheat way, I like to call it. I'm going to go ahead and put the cap back on this Ultra Gel Control glue for now until we need it again. I'm going to focus you. Okay, now we'll go into the engine room floor. So I'm going to get you here. I'm going to focus you again. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this part right here that has the screw holes. And I'm going to turn it the right way around. And then I'm going to drop it into this slot. And when it fits on, it's going to be a half thrust block. But this is going to enable you to put your finger in here and hold it down. See, I'm able to get my hand in there and hold that down to the floor. Then I'm going to flip it over. And right there's my two screw holes right there. So now what I'm going to do while I'm holding this, I'm going to work on getting a screw loaded up into the screwdriver. Like that. And then I'm going to work on slowly, not a lot, but slowly getting this in place. So, taking my time, letting the screw do the work. Which, okay, we got one side in. That seems pretty secure. So now I'm going to load up the second screw. Holding my hand there again, I'm going to insert the second screw. Now I'm going to go over these screws right fast. Make sure that they're fully tightened, which they are. So now we got those screws in place, and we'll flip her over. She is now secured down to the engine room floor. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other corresponding piece, and I'm going to work on sliding it on. When I locate like that. Yep, that's good. And I'm able to slide it off just like I am the other one. So you can see there. I haven't glued mine yet, but there is a reason for that. But anyway, now we have the second thrust block down to the floor, which is good. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, second thrust block built. Now I'm going to go ahead and read the next part of the instructions. Next page, we're going to take the base of the lubrication pump, 34D, and fit the shaped raised screw socket on the base of the corresponding hole beside the thrust block above left turn the assembly over so that you can fix part 34D in place with an EP, or oh, okay, my bad, with an FP screw. Left, glue detail 34K in place in the hole near the end of the thrust block as shown above. Okay. So now we're going to get our lubrication pump, which is one of these bags. I'm looking for it. This bag is done, so I can seal this bag. I keep the bags. I don't throw them away because they come in handy for, you know, putting screws in and stuff. Okay, we need that piece right there. That's the lubrication pump. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. Dump it out onto the table. Seal this bag. Now I got to find the FP screws, which is in the box. So there we go. Alright. So the first thing is first, and this thing's probably going to be a little bit of a pain to get in there, because I also got to watch. You can see the pipe is over the socket of the hole. So I'm going to press that in as far as I can get that. So I'm good there. Now what I got to do is I got to feed this right here around that pipe, making sure the key shape is shaped the right way round. We got to try to feed the lubrication pump around that pipe and not break that pipe off or any detail we have already put on. So you can see there I'm getting really close to that pipe. So I'm going to get this up to my face right fast so I can see what I'm doing. Once I get it started, I'll bring it back to the camera. Which I am catching the pipe. So I'm going to take this lubrication pump off. I'm going to take the thrust block part back off, because I think what happened is I didn't get that pipe inside that one area all the way in enough. So now I got to try to press it and hope it don't break. So just bear with me. Okay, it got pressed in a bit more, so let me try that now. Yeah, that worked. That got pressed in a bit more. So trying this again. I'm really, really close to that pipe, you all. Woo! That was a heart stopper. I got it in. Look how close that is to that pipe. I mean, that is extremely close. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get my FP screw out of here. And now the fun thing is, while I'm screwing that lubrication pump in, I got to make sure that that thing don't twist. So, that's the next part of our challenge. Fighting with a bag, again. Got my tweezers. Got the bag open. Now I'm going to use my screwdriver to pull one screw out. And of course it's going to try to grab two. It always does. Come here. Come here. Gotcha. Okay, we got our screw that we need, which is right there, a little tiny booger. Now we're going to flip the engine room floor over again. I'm going to hold my hand on that lubrication pump. Now we're going to go in the hole that's down below all these others. We got to go right there. So, taking this and slowly putting it in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to flip over and making sure that we're staying straight and we're not turning. So just give me a few there. Which it is trying to turn, so I'm turning it back. This screw goes fairly deep into the part. So it's a big old case of constantly trying to hold it straight and then slowly turning the screw. Making sure that nothing goes crooked. Which is what I'm doing now. Which I think I got it. Yeah. So looking at it, eyeballing it. Okay. I think that lubrication pump is straight, or is as straight as I'm going to get it. You can see that one right there is a bit more straighter. You can see how it turned on me. So let me try to fix that. There we go. So that's on there. Okay, and then I gotta get that 34K part and glue it in place. So what 34K is, it's inside this bag. And you're going to need this long straight piece right there. That's 34K. So getting a hold of part 34K. This is going to be a big time multiple part video. I'm already like an hour and something of a cord. So sorry about that, but like I said, I want to show everything. So I got 34K out. Sealing up. Well, I ain't going to seal that bag because there's only one part left in there. Okay. So now we're going to take 34K. Focus in. 34K. I'm going to put some Ultra Gel Control glue on that part right there. The D shape.